Manhattan, obviously we work affordable housing. I guess I would love to hear about kind of your life experience of affordable housing and why this is something that you care so much about.
So I grew up in a single parent household, and when I was early elementary, my mom had to remove us from an alcoholic stepfather, and so she couldn't have done that if she didn't have a place to land, and that was affordable apartment that was, through the county, and allowed us to leave a situation that was not healthy. And I don't know that she would have been able to have done that if she, I know she wouldn't have left if she didn't have a place to go. And so having that apartment in Bellevue, that was a safe place to be, was everything for us. And it allowed us to start a new life. And yeah, I can't even imagine how things would have been different if she had felt like she had to stay in that situation. So that kind of began my journey with, just then feeling the need to be a part of a solution for affordable housing, because I know how important that is to have that available.
That's great here. I mean, my story is different than that, but for me, affordable housing has played such a big part of my life too. We're first generation immigrants. I born in China. My parents moved here when I was little. It's about like 4. And my dad, both of my parents were university professors, but those degrees don't carry over when you come from another country like that. My dad was washing dishes in restaurants, and my mom was doing like translation services. When you're 5 years old, you don't understand.
Exactly.
But we were moving every summer. I remember growing up, I would change schools every year going into fall. Not a motorboating, but I'm like, oh, they were looking for better lease terms, or that's why we kept having to move. And my mom took this job with an organization in downtown Seattle. She was an on-site manager, and that was the first time where I actually got to stay in a school district for more than a year. And it was a affordable housing building that she worked in. That's how I kind of grew up for second to 4th grade, and that she had friends from one year to another. And that was really kind of what got my family started. From there we were able to actually build up savings and have stability and everything else. And it's one of the reasons why I do this work, because for some reason, those were our family friends, and I learned affordable housing rules. And it's been such a core part of my life. So it's great to hear that impact that it has for other people.
And my situation was different in that we actually stayed in that apartment, apartment K-12, for 7 years. And so we had a community around us, and it was different in that, one of the things I love about Imagine Housing is just all the services they're able to offer. We didn't have any of that, but we had a community, and it was a lot of immigrants too. So it was a very vibrant, multicultural community, which was great for me to have that. I was exposed to that early on, and being an East Sider, that you don't get that so much, at least back then. So having that stability for those 7 years was huge.
Yeah, you had mentioned Bellevue. You had mentioned earlier that you kind of grew up here. So why continue to invest in this community? Why are you still part of it?
Well, the East Side, is where both of us were. Kim wasn't born here, but from the time she was little, and I was born and raised here in in Bellevue. Our office is in Bellevue. So the community is, important. You look around downtown Bellevue, it's like, boy, this isn't the town that when I was little, but it's changed. And, one of those things, a great community, but it's expensive to live here. And that's so, you go back to when Kim had that need, that's, magnified now, but just being, we're involved because we've been blessed. We have the ability to help, and it's, there's a need, and there's an organization that does a good job of filling that need. So that's why we've been involved. Yeah. So, I definitely had this experience, through Kim's eyes. And how about you, Z? What got you passionate about this organization?
So, I'm not like the rest of you. I'm not from here. And so when I got here into this community, I originally started out helping single adult women find shelter here in our community. And as I was, working in that organization, I learned about Imagine Housing. Because guess what? We were moving women from shelter into Imagine Housing apartments. And so as I got to learn more about the organization, got connected with other folks in the community, I began to hear about the important work that Imagine Housing was doing. And then one day I had the fortune to have the opportunity to join the team, and so glad that I did a couple of years ago now. Came to Imagine Housing knowing that there's more to do. As you said, the need is great. And I'm happy to be a part of helping to achieve new goals for the organization and see more people have that opportunity to have affordable housing and stay on the East Side or come to the East Side and enjoy all the benefits that are here. Mm-hmm. Kim, when I hear your story, it reminds me of many of the women that I was seeing before and wondering where they were going to go. And now I know that they have that opportunity to be able to go to a safe place with Imagine Housing and have that opportunity to create a new future for themselves, for their children, for future generations, and they can stay right here on the East Side.